Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning in to what is going to be my monthly favorites video. It's that time again. I'm talking about all of my May beauty favorites, so let's go ahead and dive in. First, I want to start with some skincare, which I don't normally include in favorites videos, not because I don't have them or don't use it all that frequently, but I film in my bedroom, and so whenever I'm gathering up my monthly favorites, it's always like makeup that's top of mind, rarely skincare because that's in a never, it's my bathroom where I actually use it. And so finally I was unpacking from a trip I recently took and was like, I want to include these. And so that prompted me to gather some other stuff that I otherwise might have forgotten. And so there's gonna be some skincare in here today, which I wanna cover first. So first let's start with the stuff that kind of prompted this, which is the new makeup, Milk Makeup matcha sticks. One is a cleanser and one is a toner. The cleanser, it's very similar to a lot of other exfoliating stick cleansers, like Tarte has one. That's the only other stick cleanser that I've used. And much in the same way, this is a physical exfoliant, but it has much larger granules in here. When I used the Tarte, the sample that I got, I think in an Ipsy bag once, I couldn't even tell there were granules in there. At first I thought it was a chemical exfoliant, but then once I talked about it in a video, you guys informed me they're like very, very fine micro like granules in there. Not so much with this. These are definitely larger. It doesn't make a bit of difference to me. I just happen to notice these more, and so if you find you're more sensitive one way or the other, you have a certain preference, that's the major difference I've noticed between these two. The way I like to use it is to run this under some water. I'll apply it directly to my face, circular motions, or just like however it happens to roll out at the time, and then I'll use my fingers to go in and massage those granules further into my skin and just make sure I'm getting all the nooks and crannies, since this can be a little bit more cumbersome to get into those narrow, like around your nose, places like that. Just go with my fingers and then I will rinse it all off. It's really effective at getting most of my makeup off. I will say the one thing it doesn't do is eye makeup, which is to be expected. I think anyway, you're not going to want to put a physical exfoliant around your eyes. So as a result, you probably need to pack like a separate eye makeup remover or something like that. But in terms of getting my face makeup off, really, really good at that. And then I go in with the toner, the matcha toner, and toner is normally the first thing off of my packing list whenever I'm trying to minimize and like decrease what I pack, especially when it comes to that liquids bag, which for me tends to fill up more so with things like foundation and dry shampoo. So I was especially excited to try a toner, and I really like it. It might look a little thick here, but it is a very thin gel texture. It glides over the skin. Again, I just apply it directly, then use my fingers to make sure it's evenly distributed everywhere. And I wouldn't say, I mean, it definitely distributes a really nice thin layer of like moisture and hydration. It's not too heavy. Like once it dries down, it leaves my skin comfortable and primed for a heavier or more substantial moisturizer. It just does exactly what a toner should do. It doesn't do anything extreme to my skin. Like sometimes toner, you know, it'll feel more like tight, drying, astringent, or it'll be cooling. Nothing like that here. It's mildly refreshing because it is that gel. You know, once the cold air hits it, it's kind of cooling, but very mild otherwise. So I think it's going to be good for a broad range of skin tones. And just overall, I love how convenient these are. The one thing I will say though that I was missing with these two was a moisturizer. I did have to go in and pack a more traditional like lotion moisturizer in my liquids bag. But when I got home from the weekend where I'd packed these, there was a box from Milk, and they had not only sent me both of these because I bought these in a recent Sephora purchase, but they sent me both of these along with a gel moisturizer that I have yet to try, but I'm very excited to now just because I think it will kind of complete the skincare trio, none of which will need to go in a liquids bag, and you don't have to worry about them spilling and things like that. So just for the sake of convenience and efficacy, I've really been liking these. Now on to some skincare products that I've been loving, but less for travel because they're a little bit larger, a little bit more cumbersome, not as travel friendly if you're not checking a bag. They are from Pixie, which by the way, I have been loving their stuff. They've been sending me, these were sent to me by the way, but they've been sending me quite a few press packages, mostly full of skincare. And so I don't know if I am just new to the world of Pixie or if they've been around for forever, but have been pretty impressed with the stuff they've been coming out with recently. So first off is the Glow Mud Cleanser. This is 5% glycolic acid and aloe vera. Basically, it's like a mud-esque type cleanser. I wet my fingers a little bit, rub make the mud a thinner texture so it distributes a little bit more thin and evenly across my face. Does a great job at removing makeup, but also has that exfoliating property to it. So it's like slowly chipping away the dead, dry skin cells on my face. Really like the way that performs. Then I follow it up with the Glow Tonic To Go exfoliating toner pads. And the thing about these is I first tried the regular liquid Glow Tonic, was not that impressed. I used it in conjunction with the rest of the skincare I was using at the time, just as a toner instead. And I didn't notice it doing the wonderful things that everybody else said it did for them. And in fact, I even leaned towards not liking it because I blew through it. Like, I went through so much of that stuff so quickly. And so the one thing I will say about this is I think I like these now better working in conjunction with the two products I'm currently talking about here, because they're all exfoliating and so they contribute to a larger exfoliation routine. And I also like the delivery of the pads more. I just find that it's a more efficient way to go through the product and I'm not wasting it, like oversaturating a cotton pad and then not using it all. I just find it's a more efficient use of the product, but I'm not, like, this isn't my favorite product of the set. I think I'm only seeing the results I am from it because I'm using it in conjunction with two other glycolic products. So not to say it's not good, but I just feel like I should point out that I have used this before, and it wasn't until I used it with these other products that I started seeing the results that I did. So that is the toner, and then I go in with a treatment, which is, like I said, another exfoliant, and this is the Pixie Overnight Glow Serum Concentrated Exfoliating Gel. And this, I think the concentration of glycolic must be on the packaging because it's not here. It just has instructions that says use PM as needed, massage 2 or 3 drops into cleansed, toned skin before moisturizer. Use sparingly because it's very thin. I find that even with 2 drops, I have some excess that I need to use elsewhere, and so use very sparingly. It comes in this drop format, which I'm not crazy about. Like, it kind of makes a mess when you don't get everything perfectly in there because quite a bit comes up on the dropper, but what are you gonna do? It doesn't keep me from liking the results because ever since using these 3 products in conjunction, my skin has just been so much more visibly brighter and more even, and I personally find that glycolic is the most effective chemical moisturizer for my skin. Like, maybe it's a mental thing, but I just feel like I see better, faster results when I use glycolic products over some other chemical exfoliants. So these 3 together have just been making my skin feel amazing. So that was kind of a lot of time on skincare, but I do feel like it has set the stage for the makeup that then goes on top of it. So first off is foundation. It's what I'm wearing today, and I mentioned it in my recent Sephora VIB sale haul with reviews. In case you want to watch that, I'll link it down below, but basically I talk through everything I get as well as show demos and basically give mini reviews. It's not even first impressions. Like, I've used all of these products for quite some time now, so I can give you my thoughts on them. Definitely go check that out in case you missed it, but the foundation, one of the 2 that I got there, but the one that actually worked out for me was the Foundation X from Natasha Denona. I really like the coverage this gives. It's kind of like Second Skin. It does have a thicker consistency, so if you want something light for the summer, like light in texture for the summer, this might not be for you. But I have to say, I was very impressed with the wear time as I was testing this, and then I only went to go take it with me to even hotter, more humid climates, to the beach in Florida. I just took it to New Orleans, where it was unseasonably hot, I feel like. I mean, we are not even in June yet, and it was crazy muggy and hot, but all of that is just to say that I was really impressed with how it wore in a bunch of different climates. Even when traveling, at the end of the day, it just stayed intact so well. And so to me, having the, even though it's that thicker texture in warmer climates, warmer months, things like that, so worth it if I know it's gonna last all day. Next up, concealer. No surprise, it's the Shape Tape, but I feel obligated to mention it because it's been a favorite for what? 6 months running now, some ridiculous amount of time. It's pretty, maybe not 6 months, but you get the idea. Longer than I can remember, and so it's worthy of a spot here. Then rest of the face. So I recently did a video where I did some, like, a full day's worth of testing and trying on a review, all that kind of stuff. And in that I use this Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer, and I still want to do a comparison between this and there is a comparable highlight from Wet n Wild, and then Maybelline just came out with a similar one as well. I still do want to do a video comparing all of those, but again, I recently took this to travel and not only used it, it's what I'm wearing as my highlight today. Absolutely beautiful. You get that really high shine metallic sheen that then transfers the same way onto your skin. It doesn't come off as some sort of piecey disco ball-y type of glitter, which can sometimes happen with products that look like this in the pan. They just don't translate well onto the skin. Not the case with this, which is good because it is it's at a price point that it can be nothing but perfection in my book, pretty much. But then I also, in just kind of trying to figure out how I can maximize the use of my makeup bag, applied it to my eyes. I am technically wearing it today. I showed you how to apply it before I applied what I put on over top, but really loved when applying it with a finger to the eyelid just how poppin' it was. It's a great wash of color across the lid, and because it's that high shine metallic, you can just apply this over the lid and it still looks kind of dimensional, because in some areas it looks darker, whereas it pops in others depending on how the light hits it. It's just a great kind of one and done shadow in addition to being a highlight. So like that, and then the shadow that I have on over top is the Stila. This is the duochrome. What is this even called? This is the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Sunset Cove. Again, talked about this in my Sephora haul. I got it because I can't resist a duochrome, even though I tried another one of these shades, one of those that they initially came out with, and was very unimpressed with the level of fallout. Like an idiot, got it again, but am in love with this texture. I think it's because the glitters, or the shimmer's a little bit more finely milled, and so it moves around a little less. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even want to question why. I'm just here to tell you that it's fantastic, and it's the only thing I'm wearing on top of that Dior highlighter, and I wanted to wear it today specifically because in that Sephora haul, I had applied it over a more like a smokier purple sort of look, so you could kind of see how this played over top of lighter versus deeper. But in that video, I mentioned that even if you just wear it as alone across the lid, it gives you some interest, but it's not overwhelming. Like, it's a really wearable way to do a duochrome, even though when you describe it, it's like, oh, a lilac with a purpley teal shift. It comes across as such a beautiful, subtle, pastel, like summer unicorn type of, nothing about that sounds wearable, but you get where I'm coming from. Like, it's just, on the eyes, it looks wearable, so I just wanted to show it to anyone in case your interest was piqued in that video, but you thought there is no freaking way you can wear that alone on your eyeshadow and still feel like it's, you know, daytime appropriate. I think you can. I really, really like it. So really like that, and thinking I will continue to love it through the coming summer months. And then for mascara, I have been liking, again, I have a video on this as well, but it's the Dior Pump and Volume Mascara. Have really been liking the way this volumizes and lengthens and curls my lashes and holds that all day without flaking, smudging, budging, running, anything like that. Really stands up to the test of time. And what's cool about it is that it has portions of this tube cut out, so it's squeezy here. You can not only kind of control the density of the formula by using the heat of your hands to warm it up, but then you can also squeeze it as you're pulling the wand out to make sure it's evenly and thoroughly coated with your product, because I hate a mascara where you pull the wand out and it's dry as a bone and you have to like layer and layer and layer. This is a one and done sort of mascara. So yeah, have really been loving that. That's it. I feel like I have just talked and talked and talked, but then again, that is kind of what these videos are about. So what are you gonna do? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear what your favorites have been over the past month or whatever, just what your current favorites are. Tell me what you're loving in the comments below, or what you think of what I've talked about here today. Would love to hear your thoughts on that too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.